Awesome. Welcome back, everyone. I wonder how many times I have said that today, but let's welcome our next guest, Greg Attentive. He leads the strategic partnerships team at Attentive, and Attentive is the most comprehensive text message marketing solution, driving 20.5% of total online revenue for businesses by creating thoughtful SMS experiences. So, to kick things off in the chat, I would love to know if you're using SMS, and if you are, what are you using it for? Is it cart abandonment? Is it shipping confirmation, wait list? Would love to hear from everyone in this chat. I know it is midday, so just want to get that energy. And Greg, I'm going to hand it off to you. We are all super excited to hear about Attentive.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Carly, and thank you for such a nice introduction. It is super exciting to be here. Well, we love ShipBob and really excited about our partnership heading into 2022 and very excited to be here. I hope you all can see my screen. Very excited to chat a little bit more about SMS as a channel and how you can really leverage it to redefine your customer experience. I know that's a big topic today, so hopefully you gain some powerful insights. Just a little bit about me. Carly already did a great introduction, but I manage our technology and ecosystem partnerships here at Attentive. Before being in e-commerce, I actually started my career in sports marketing. I worked for the Trailblazers for 7 years, as you can see from the scarves on the back. So if anyone likes to talk about basketball, connect with me on LinkedIn. I love to chat about sports as well. I've been in e-commerce now for about 6 years, working with a variety of agencies and MarTech platforms. And so really excited to be here at Attentive. So as Carly mentioned, we are a best-in-class text message marketing platform working with a lot of emerging and established e-commerce brands and retailers. Focused on making our clients have SMS as a top 3 revenue channel in less than 6 months. So hopefully some of the things that we talk about today will encapsulate how we really try to do that for our clients. And so I got a nice little deck here to talk about customer experience. The 3 things that I do hope that you get out of today, if there are just a few things that you do take away from today's event, is we are seeing a shift in behavior in terms of consumers actually wanting to receive text from brands that they're interested in. Secondly, SMS is a great channel to offer a really strong shopping experience and overall customer experience. So especially from a mobile perspective. So we're going to talk a lot about that. And then lastly is, SMS as we head into 2022 and beyond really is going to become sort of that central hub for how you communicate with your customers cross-channel. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to talk about today. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first takeaway, your shoppers expect and want to receive text from you. And so I know we still hear a lot of people that are a little bit on the fence about SMS and that it's maybe more of an intrusive channel, but we are seeing more and more people shift to this mobile mindset. A lot of that has been due to the pandemic, unfortunately, in terms of more people going online for their shopping experience. Over the last year, 3/4 of consumers have shopped online more than they were a year ago. And a majority of those consumers are starting to do more of that on their mobile device. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that 2022 is the year of mobile. I feel like we've been hearing that for the last 5 years, that it's going to be the year of mobile, but we are entering a mobile first era. And you can see that right here, where almost everyone in some capacity is shopping online through their mobile device. And over half of consumers are actually doing that as their primary device for purchasing products. But none of that matters if people still don't want to receive text messages. Like, there's no value in SMS marketing if people don't want to receive text messages from businesses that they're interested in. But as I mentioned, we are seeing a huge shift in behavior when it comes to that. And we are finding that over 90% of consumers want to sign up for text from businesses that they have a genuine interest in. And this is whether they're already signed up for programs or maybe they haven't yet, but they are open to it in the future. We are seeing a behavioral shift. in terms of people wanting to receive those messages from brands that they are genuinely interested in or are currently following. So our second takeaway, and I'm going to spend a lot of time here because I think it's super important to what this whole event is about, and that's leveraging text as a way to make shopping experiences faster and easier. Shoppers who have a positive and convenient experience are more likely to buy more and more often and become those loyal customers that you're ideally looking for. And so as we talk about text, and this even pertains to email marketing or any type of marketing automation, we always look at it from the buyer's journey perspective, right? We need to acquire that subscriber, then we need to get them to convert, and then we need to retain them and make them a multi-purchase buyer. And so SMS marketing is a great channel to be able to get people through this buying cycle. And it's really important to leverage different components of the buying cycle to drive real engagement and a positive customer experience. And that first moment is the sign up and the welcome message. First impressions are going to be incredibly critical. You want to make sure that it's a seamless experience from opting in to receiving that first text message so they know what they're opting in for, with that special offer that you might be giving them, all the way to your triggered messages like cart abandonment and browse abandonment, products that people have expressed interest in, whether they left it in their cart or they just looked at the product page, making sure to remind them about the products that they might have had interest in, but maybe abandoned because they checked their email or checked Facebook and they just forgot to go back to the actual website, all the way to transactional. So post-purchase, almost everyone, 97% specifically of consumers want to receive text messages about of where their product is in the shipping cycle. So they want to know when their order is out for delivery, when they can expect to receive their order. And leveraging text is going to be a great way to offer a more positive experience because we all look at our text messages. So they're going to know immediately when their product is going to arrive. And then lastly is customer service. And this is where SMS really starts to differentiate itself. And it's really being able to take advantage of that two-way conversation that you can have with text, which is not necessarily there for some of the other channels that you might have. You might get a lot of questions about where an order is in the process. You didn't receive it or you got the wrong size. And to be able to have that one-to-one conversation in real time really adds to that customer experience that brands are looking for, to ensure that you keep them as a more loyal customer instead of going and checking their email periodically to see if someone responds or to have to go to the website. For that agent to be able to directly just go straight to the customer and where they're spending a lot of time, which is that mobile device, that's really going to add an immediacy that your customers are going to really appreciate. And we're seeing a lot of consumers express more interest and openness to interacting with a brand via text message for customer support. Almost everyone is willing to consider it. And I think that is because we are starting to enter this mobile first era. We are spending more time on our mobile devices. We want to have that immediacy. We sort of expect that immediacy. And so that's also expanding into customer support. But there's a huge opportunity for brands here because while consumers are expressing a lot of interest in this, not enough brands are actually leveraging customer support as a channel, leveraging SMS as a channel for their customer support. So there is a huge gap here and a huge opportunity for brands to be able to add SMS as a channel for handling customer support related issues so that you can build a better positive experience and drive more of that loyalty that you're looking for. And when consumers engage in conversations with the brand via SMS, there is a correlation to more revenue being driven. So they're going to spend 31% more and are likely to buy again from you if they're actually having a conversation with the brand versus just the brand sending them sales updates or that one-way communication that you might be already giving. But we're starting to see this also expand outside of just the customer support realm. So you might be getting a lot of questions that aren't necessarily triggering a support ticket that are sales related questions. People interested in certain products, maybe they have questions about product sizing or availability, whatever that might be. There are subscribers out there that are sending text messages back And a lot of those questions are being ignored when a customer support ticket isn't being created. This can lead to a significant loss of revenue. And so this is a huge opportunity for brands as well to look at SMS and two-way communication as more than just a customer support related channel, but also a sales channel, and be able to build a relationship with them to get them to move along that buying cycle a lot quicker. And that's where we are really getting into conversational SMS. And this is where I want to go in terms of being able to offer a really strong mobile customer experience is conversational SMS, turning messages into an organic conversation so that you can increase that customer experience and retention through the entire life cycle. This is a huge focus for Attentive heading into 2022, really being able to build those true connections with your subscribers and your customers. These two-way messages are such a great way to collect more data from your customers to drive deeper engagement and personalization with your marketing strategy. It'll allow you to send more personalized recommendations to inspire different actions that you might want your customers or subscribers to take. And it'll allow you to stay in touch with current customers so that they don't churn and go to one of your competitors. That engagement is going to be incredibly huge. And as consumers and customers expect more and more from the brands that they're interested in, being able to be at the front lines and being proactive and trying to understand what their customers want through a really powerful channel like SMS is only going to increase that customer experience that you're looking for. And on top of conversational, when we looked at like triggered messages, like our cart abandonment, our browse abandonment, we've also recently added two-way triggered messages. So this is another great way to, again, drive more revenue from your subscribers and really understand what your customers are interested in. So when you're sending that welcome message, thanking them for joining the program, are you asking them what types of products they're interested in? In this example, it's asking you, reply 1 if you're interested in Nike, or 2 if you're interested in Adidas. And based on those responses, you know what types of text messages to send them down the line when certain opportunities come up. Maybe you have a flash sale with your Nike products that you can send to those that are interested in Nike. Or if you have a new product that just got new inventory or a brand new release, these are all messages that you'll be able to send to people that you already know they're interested in that brand. And these types of triggered campaigns are driving 3 times more revenue than those one-way triggers like cart and browse abandonment messages that you're already doing. And those cart and browse abandonment messages are already your highest ROI campaigns. At Attentive, we're driving $8 in sales for every text sent through a cart abandonment or browse abandonment message, and a text only costs about a penny. So the ROI is huge. So doing these two-way triggered messages is going to be another great way to improve the customer experience, the subscriber experience, and drive more revenue from your most loyal customers. And then I just, again, wanted to pivot back to that buyer's journey, because now that we've talked a little bit more about conversational, the way I look at conversational from the buyer's journey perspective is we want to leverage that to move people faster along this journey. So again, from that welcome message, being able to ask them, like, what are you interested in? Let us know, so that when we get to the consideration and conversion phase, we know more about you to be able to send you the right text messages to convert you faster. All the way to those transactional text messages about updating you on your shipping order, or if you have questions about your order, being able to respond back so that they have that positive experience, so that when you get to the retention phase, they already have that brand loyalty with you, and they're going to want to come back and purchase more because they've had such a positive experience. And then lastly, takeaway number 3 is we really do feel that SMS is going to be kind of that future central identifier for customers and personalization, and for your CRM, especially as more and more people are leveraging multiple email addresses to opt into programs. Like, you don't really understand everything about that customer that you might have, whereas like with SMS, we only have one phone number. And so it's really going to be a great opportunity from an identity perspective to really understand who your customers are and how you can personalize the message. And in 3 years, we do anticipate SMS will be at the center of how customers and brands communicate. And because of that, it's really important that you get your SMS program going pretty quickly, because since we only have one device and we look at all of our text messages, we're only going to be able to have the ability to opt into so many programs before we feel a little bit of fatigue and we're not getting texted every couple of minutes. So it really is a race to own the inbox. You want to make sure that you are getting that phone number and capturing it before your competitors are, so that you can engage them, get them to become a customer and a loyal customer down the line. And again, just to quickly highlight at the end, we really do feel like the mobile device is that future primary identity for personalization. Almost everyone's phone number, they've had it for a long time. I know I've had my phone number for over 15 years. Everyone, for the most part, only has one cell phone as well. So when you're sending a message, you know who you are going to be sending that to, and it's going to be a long-term way to be able to communicate with someone. It's also one of the only device that we don't share with other people. So we might share a laptop, we might share a tablet. We're not sharing our phones with other people. So again, when you're sending those messages, you know who that end customer is going to be that's going to be receiving it. And our cell phones are always on. And whether that's a good or a bad thing, that is a reality. We all spend probably too much time on our phone. But it's a great way to get in touch with your customers because we are glued to our phones. And there's also an immediacy to text that you don't get with other channels, because 90% of the messages that are sent are seen within the first 5 minutes of receiving them. So if there are opportunities to send out like a flash sale or a limited time offer, SMS is going to be that perfect channel to drive the urgency that you're looking for and to turn SMS as a channel into that top 3 revenue channel. And so I'm just going to quickly highlight some case studies here just to kind of give you some examples of how some of our customers are doing this. This is a great example of Groove Life. They used those two-way journeys, that conversational SMS that I mentioned, to create a fun and entertaining program through their SMS, through SMS marketing. And so for St. Patrick's Day, they did a scavenger hunt. I love sharing this example. I just think it's such a cool way to leverage SMS, where in order to participate in the scavenger hunt, you had to opt into their program. And over this 2-day period, they drove 6,000 new SMS subscribers. And then throughout the scavenger hunt, they would be getting clues. Once they got the answers to those clues and they replied back, they'd get another clue until the very end, where they received a final coupon text. And that text alone received a 31% conversion rate. So you had a lot of people that were super engaged, invested time in participating in this program, and that return, 15x ROI just on this campaign alone, showed how much fun people had and how much engagement that Groove Life got from this event. And then just another example of how to leverage SMS, shipping updates, promotions, and customer service, as I mentioned, through text messaging to drive more revenue, seeing really strong click-through rates, coupon redemption rates. And then the last one, 10 times revenue per subscriber versus email. So you might not receive as many SMS subscribers as you do with email, but because those SMS subscribers are more valuable, they're willing to give you that real estate of their phone number to learn more about them. There is a higher revenue component to those subscribers versus your email subscribers. So that's why even if you have the email address and you still want to leverage email marketing, it's still such an important channel and it's not going away. But SMS, that phone number is going to be huge to get so that you can drive even more revenue from your customers. And then lastly, just another two-way example that I'm sure you guys will, hoping you guys will get the deck after this so you guys can see the case studies, but just another way to, again, like ask more about what your customers are interested in and making sure that you're driving more revenue based off of the products that your customers are interested in. So I know I had 20 minutes. I think I'm around the 20-minute mark. I know I went really fast, but I really appreciate you guys having me on. And again, I believe we're offering an extended 60-day trial for anyone that is interested in learning more about Attentive. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions. But thanks again for having me.
Yeah, Greg, thank you so much. If we can steal you for one question,
Yes.
Kara asked, with increased spam SMS that phones automatically block, How does this kind of SMS engagement avoid being directed to spam? I thought that was a really interesting question.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. And so one of the things that we take really seriously at Attentive is compliance. SMS is a super litigious channel. To your point, you don't want to be spamming people because it can catch you in some uncompliant acts. And so when someone's opting into marketing and marketing messages for SMS, we actually require a double opt-in. So there is real consent when someone is wanting to opt into the program. So it doesn't take just one, yes, I want to receive marketing messages in order to receive those text messages. You have to do it twice. So you might see those reply Ys after you give your phone number. That's an example of a double opt-in. We have something called our two-tap technology where you basically just tap, the consumer can tap their screen twice to opt in. And then we also make sure that you are constantly reminding your subscribers how to opt out. So it's really important that anyone that does not want to receive marketing messages knows how to unsubscribe from your marketing messages. So you might see like reply stop to unsubscribe. You want to constantly remind people to do that. And then also, we have a lot with fuzzy opt out language where if someone misspells stop, or maybe they send you a very profane laced text message back. We have a lot of keywords and phrases that we track so that if we see someone misspells something or says a very rude word, we can guide them along the path of saying, hey, it looks like you're trying to unsubscribe, reply why, or we'll just automatically unsubscribe them. So, really good question. I hope that answered it.
Awesome. Well, if anyone wants to chat further with Greg, I went ahead and put their booth in there. So feel free to hop in there and ask Greg any questions or his team. And I will see everyone in the next session starting in about 5 minutes. So